everyone, welcome to That's Cakepop. I'm Janine, and I did warn you, it is Christmas, so there are Christmas treats galore. Today, I decided to create something a little bit different. I'm going to show you how I created these cute little cake truffles / cake pops that are perfect for adorning any Christmas spread. Because they're bite-sized, they are perfect for kids and for adults alike, and they're a great way to utilize any of those extra cake scraps. I hope you enjoyed the video. So the first thing I have to do is to create the Cakepop dough or cake clay, whatever you prefer to call it. There are a couple of methods of doing this. So what you need first are some cake scraps, and what you do is crumble them all down into a fine consistency. The next thing you need to do is to add either buttercream or ganache. It's your choice. You can add flavors into your ganaches and buttercreams here, so you can have flavored cake pops. The key to Cakepop dough or cake clay is its consistency. So add enough buttercream or ganache so that it binds together well, but not so much that it's a hot mess in your hands and falling apart. Now that we have our cake clay ready, it's time to start shaping them into our cake pops. So I'm using two different methods here. The first one I'm doing is I'm using a mold, so I'm cheating a little bit, but of course you can always use a teaspoon and hand roll them also. The other method I'm using is for the Christmas trees. I'm actually going to fill a mini ice cream cone with Cakepop dough. Once the Cakepop dough is rolled into balls in its mold or in the ice cream cones in this case, you need to add some lollipop sticks. Once the sticks are in, put the cake pops into your fridge for about 20 minutes or into a freezer for about 10. Okay, now we have the cake pops all chilled and ready to go. It's time to start dipping. Now there are a few little tricks to this also. Number one is you don't want your cake pops to be too cold. You don't want them frozen or your chocolate will crack. I have no doubt I'll have one or two cracks in mine. It's almost inevitable. Secondly, I'm using a few different colored chocolates. So I'm using a milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, and caramel chocolate. Plus I'll be adding some color to one of those to make our Christmas trees green. Make sure that you use an oil-soluble color. Try to use a water-based one, your chocolate's gonna seize and it's not going to be dippable. The other thing I do is I add a little bit of melted cocoa or coconut oil if it's easier to my melted chocolate just to make it that little more runny, and it makes coating a breeze. Also make sure that the vessels you're using, whether it be a bowl or a jug, to dip your cake pops in is deep enough to dip them properly. If you need a little bit of assistance, I just use a teaspoon for pouring extra chocolate over the cake pop. Once they're dipped, I just give them a little bit of a spin and that gets rid of the excess chocolate. Depending on what sort of cake pop you're doing, I'm actually going to take the sticks out of the balls. So I'm going to place these guys on a bit of parchment paper to set, and I'm going to place the Christmas trees just in a styrofoam cake dummy. If you feel they need an extra coat after they're set, go ahead and do that. Now that all the cake pops are covered in chocolate and chilled down a little bit, it's time for the fun part, and that's to decorate. The first thing I need to do is to take the cake pop sticks out of the cake pops. These are going to be freestanding, so more like truffles. Okay, the first cake truffle or cake pop I'm going to decorate is the plum pudding. To decorate the plum pudding, I'm just going to drizzle on some white chocolate on the top. Then, on top of that, once it's set, with some royal icing, I'm going to pipe on a couple of little green leaves. After that, I'm going to roll a small bit of red fondant into a ball, and then I'm going to put a little bit of glitter on that and attach that to the top. And that's it for the plum pudding. Next, it's time to decorate the Christmas trees. To decorate the Christmas trees, I've got some white royal icing. I'm going to very carefully pipe a garland all the way around that tree. Once the royal icing is set, I'm going to paint that very carefully with some edible gold paint. Then, either with a little bit of royal icing or some piping gel, I'm going to attach some edible confetti and some nonpareils or cashews or pearls, whatever you want to call them. To finish it off, I'm going to top it with a sugar star that I'm going to paint in gold. Might give that a little bit of glitter too, I think. And that is it. That's how I created these cute little cake pops / truffles. These are the sort of bite-sized treats that kids and adults love just as much as each other, so they will be perfect on your Christmas table. Well guys, thank you so much for joining me again. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're informed every time I upload a new video. Don't forget, I've got loads of other free tutorials that you can check out right here. And until I see you next time, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, stay safe, and don't forget, go and get your cake on. Bye.